Mississippi. And our next interview is going to be with Amy Robbins, who is the CEO and co-founder of a company called Alexo Athletica. Amy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on today. It's great to be with you guys.
Yeah, so let's, we've been talking a lot, and let me just bring the listeners in. So your company makes athletic wear that has compartments for concealed carry, whether it's a gun or whether it's something else. But this topic of safety, especially for women who are out on a run, has been top of mind for so many communities. But I honestly, ever since the Eliza Fletcher situation where the young mom, the young teacher full of life, went for her run early in the morning in Memphis and then was brutally kidnapped and murdered, I haven't been able to stop thinking about it every time I go for a run. Enter your company. It's been around since 2017. But can you tell us what prompted you to start Alexo and what exactly is it about?
Yeah, I would love to, because I think you're right. Like, this story has really jump-started the conversation for women's safety in general, but especially for women runners and walkers. And I myself am a runner. And so I was actually training for a marathon in 2015. And I didn't carry any self-defense tool on my body at that time, and I always felt super safe in the area that I was running. But one day it was different because I actually got followed and harassed by a van full of men, not once but twice on that run. And it was the first time ever when I was running that I felt helpless and I felt defenseless, and I hated that feeling. And I tell people my story ended there. It was just the catcalls. It was just the harassing and the following. But it was scary nonetheless. And I immediately ran home. I told my husband, that's it. I'm getting my license to carry. I think I need a place to put this when I run. And I started searching. There was no activewear companies on the market that were addressing this issue of women's safety while working out. And so I decided to do something about it and started Alexo. I started working on it in 2015 and came to market in 2017.
Okay, great. And tell us about the name. How did you come up with the name Alexo, and what does that mean?
Yeah, actually, Alexo means to defend and to help in the Greek language. And I've always loved and had an affinity for the Greek language. And we were just looking up some strong words. And this one, Alexandra was the goddess of war, but I took the part Alexo out of that name. And that was the part that actually means to defend and to help.
God, I love that. And I think that's really great because it is about self-defense. But I too, I always feel safe, but then there's moments where I hear something or I see something, and you can truly be vulnerable, whether you're out on a road or deep in the woods running on a trail.
And that's just the thing, like, women, we shouldn't have to feel scared going out on these runs. I truly believe that it is our mission with Alexo to empower women, especially now with this story making such national news. It's got a lot of women a little scared. And I say the best way to not be scared is to just be prepared. So whether you're prepared with mace, a taser, a firearm, there's several ways to be situationally aware and prepared on your run that can really reduce that anxiety and fear level. And that is our mission with Alexo, is to empower women to take their safety into their own hands and join a community of other empowered women, and now men. We just launched our men's line as well, but our focus initially was on women's safety, and that's exactly what we've set out to do.
That's so great. And it's I want to get to the training aspect in a little bit, but a trend for many companies, especially more recently, has been to shy away from what someone characterizes third rail issues, especially surrounding guns. Unfortunately, this is such a controversial topic. I don't know if you are familiar with the company Black Rifle Coffee, but a story came out not too long ago that they had problems going public because they have marketing that includes a lot of guns. Sure. You've built an entire company around concealed carry. Was it hard to get started, and how do you deal with gun critics that may attempt to stand in your way?
So I had a background in the Second Amendment community. I was a TV host for many years. I actually ended up, one of the shows I hosted was for the NRA. So I was very well versed and very accustomed to the naysayers and the people that really just don't understand what the firearm is really meant for and what we strongly believe in the purpose of the Second Amendment is for. And so, it really solidified just my views that the firearm in the hands of a good guy is a good tool. It's a tool. And that's ultimately what it is. And the people that are really anti-firearms are really anti-bad guys with firearms. And the only way to kind of combat that is to put more firearms in the hands of good people who are trained and responsible and safe with their firearms. And so when we talk about training, that's why I don't always advocate that everyone needs to carry a firearm. I advocate that everyone who's comfortable with it and wants to get the training, you should be able to carry it. But outside of that, I still think that you've got to train. You've got to know the limitations of whatever tool you want to carry. So whether you decide to carry mace or you carry a taser from Taser Defense or whatever, you need to know what the limitations are for each and every one of your specific tools. And without the training, the tool in your hand really is kind of useless unless you know how you can use it, when to use it, and what's going to be the most effective method of self-protection.
Yeah, that training it's crucial, and it's almost more important to be aware. Also,
Yep.
knowing how to use the tool, be it a gun or mace or something else, but also learning how to be aware of your surroundings and paying attention to cues that they'll let you know. I mean, body language is real, and if you're attuned to it, you can always be prepared. Now, you always also have a podcast and other elements affiliated with empowering women. Could you talk us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. We launched our podcast, me and my best friend Emily, who runs a concealed carry fashion blog. And we started this podcast, Not Your Average Gun Girls, about 3 years ago, because there really wasn't anything on the market in the podcast space that was talking to the typical everyday average American woman that might want to incorporate a firearm into their life. A lot of the stuff that was in the gun industry was very tactical and intimidating. And we really just wanted to show and bring on people with compelling stories to show either how they got to the point in their life where they wanted to own a firearm or start to conceal carry, whether they had an aha moment, or just how normal people incorporate these firearms into their lives. And so, yeah, we have a great time. We have amazing guests that come on. We give a lot of great tips and tricks, but we also just share compelling stories of amazing people.
That's so great. I love the podcast. I recently discovered it, and I feel like it has filled a void in my life because, look, I grew up around guns. I'm from a Mississippi family out in the country, but I was always with my dad or my cousin or my brother, and so I never felt independently confident until more recently. Honestly, I went through the concealed carry, and I just started getting out there and regularly going to the shooting range. And now, at least once a day, I do a dry shoot. I do a practice, and I get out there and go. But finding resources like your podcast and then your athletic wear, it was so needed, and I'm glad to have come across it. Could you talk a little bit about your athletic wear? How does the gun actually stay secure while you're running? Just walk us through some of those.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the biggest thing is I am a runner myself. So I designed all of this specifically to hold up to the weight of carrying whatever tool. It does carry subcompact and micro-compact firearms up to 23 ounces loaded or less. So your Glock 43, SIG P365, Hellcats are going to be on like the heavier end. I don't personally run with heavy guns like that. I run with little like 380s. But again, it will accommodate up to 23 ounces loaded or less. And it has a special reinforced waistband. So some people say, well, why don't you just clip a Kydex into regular leggings and go for a run, or in regular shorts? Well, it's going to fall under the weight of the firearm. And I like to be completely hands-free. So I want to put my phone in the waistband, my keys, my chapstick, my debit card, my ID, and my self-defense tool. And in a normal waistband, it just wouldn't hold up to the weight of that. And so we have a proprietary waistband that has 4 different carry locations. So they're completely ambidextrous, whether you're right or left-hand shooter, and whether you prefer appendix carry or kidney carry while you're, working out. And so all of the shorts and leggings, and we have a whole lifestyle line. So we have everything from skirts and joggers and everything to help you live your active lifestyle. But our bread and butter is definitely the running shorts and the leggings, because we are the only activewear that has this right now. We're the only ones that have running shorts and skirts and joggers and everything for the runner specifically.
That's so great. And you can definitely tell that it was created by someone who's not only a runner, but also a firearm user. And so you've thought pretty extensively about how to make this work. Anyone who's run with a phone in the waistband and had it fall out, they can definitely relate to what you were just saying. Could you tell us really quick, we are running out of time, but direct folks where they need to go to get additional information on your company or gun safety training and use information?
Absolutely. Go to our website, alexoathletica.com, or you can follow us on Instagram at Alexo Athletica, and that is where we are super active and give all the information, and you can reach us there by DMing us or shooting us an email.
Awesome. Amy, thank you so much for joining us. This was just a breath of fresh air and purpose. For our listeners, stay tuned. We've got to take a quick break, but we'll